Hi everyone, Simon Keeling here. It is Sunday the 2nd of December. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. As always, the site's kept free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen here, and by you coming back to the site, using the adverts, using the charts that are on the site. That's what keeps us free of charge. So thank you very much for doing that, and thanks for telling your friends. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter by following at Weather School, or do a search for us on Facebook by just looking for Weather School too. Now, a bit of up and down temperatures during the week ahead. Generally going to be cool, which is what we've been forecasting, but this temperature rise, remember I've been saying, and it's been getting like a stuck record, I know, that I thought the period from about the 7th to the 9th would be when we'd be seeing temperatures becoming not mild, but perhaps mild to just below normal. It looks like that's the way things are going to go, although even then I think we could be seeing some colder blasts. And in fact, the ECMWF sees one around about the 11th or the 12th. This is the ECM temperature profile. It's for 850 millibars, which is higher in the atmosphere, but it's useful just to get a measure of how it sees things. And as you can see here, temperatures kind of just hovering fairly steady through the week. They're picking up, look, around this 9th period that I was forecasting, but then taking a tumble again as we head towards about the 11th or the 12th. Now, it could be the ECMWF is just picking up on this fall in temperature. I think that fall off is going to be 16th or 17th. Now, I did think it was going to be later, but let's go for around about the 17th of the month for that fall off coming through again. So we see this brief rise in temperature and then probably falling off again. As I said, I always thought the last third or even the last half of December would be cooler. So I'm going to work on about the 17th just at the moment. This is how you see things, well, as far as the models are concerned, with the mean of the 500 millibar flow running from next Sunday through to the following Wednesday. And ECMWF is on the left here, GFS is on the right. And interesting to see both of them building this ridge, look out towards the west of the country on both models, dipping it down into a sharp trough across Europe as well. So it's here through Europe where we're seeing that sharp trough, low pressure out here, high pressure out in the Atlantic. And the result of this is to bring in more of a north to northwesterly flow through the British Isles during the period of next weekend, early into the following week, which, as you can see here, is around about the 12th of the month. So both of them want to bring back in a cold snap, but interesting to note, look, we see on the ECMWF and on the GFS these ridges building across the eastern part of the states, and also just notice that jet stream that's in there too. I think what will happen is that jet will eventually break through from the west. It'll push the ridge for a time back further north, and you see all this blocking that's taking place here, look, all the way around the half of the hemisphere. I think what it will do is probably push that back north, but then what we'll find happening around the 17th is that the trough that's here, this trough that's coming into the central states, this one out towards the east, will eventually just blow cold air down into the Atlantic. It will result in a trough then building here in the Atlantic, the ridge then building back and then going south into Europe, brings the low back over central parts of Europe, brings the high through the British Isles around about the 17th, and I think that's our time that we probably see conditions starting to go much colder. So that's the proper hit of winter, I think, that could be on the cards. Now, of course, don't go running away with the idea that we're going to, you know, this is going to be all horrendous and snow and blizzards and everything else around Christmas. I just think this is going to be a colder period than one we've just experienced. I think the one that we're going through now is kind of the forerunner to the main show. I think certainly this end of the month is shaping up to be much colder. I could be completely wrong. You know, it could be that actually that jet that's out in the Atlantic eventually just blasts straight through, brings us a westerly, hey ho, off we go. But I think that with these heights being so far about normal here, I think that's probably unlikely. If I've got to put a confidence level on it just at the moment, I'd be going somewhere around about the probably around the 70% mark. In terms of confidence for it going colder at the end of the month. So 70% chance in cold and probably around a 30% chance of being milder. So those are the sort of that's the sort of risk numbers that I'm putting out at the moment. Okay, on with the forecast then for the next few days. Let's have a look how the models see things shaping up. This is from the GFS, and GFS not performing too badly really at the moment. Worthwhile looking at. This is the chart for just at the moment today. We've got ridge of high pressure across us. Got this area of rain that's coming in from the west though. Now the interesting thing is that as that moves in during the course of tonight, comes up against cold air in the east, it could be quite a severe frost over eastern areas during the course of tonight. It could be down to -4 or even -5 briefly, but then as the cloud and rain move in from the west, what we're going to find then is that on the leading edge here there could be some sleet and some snow. I think more likely across eastern Scotland, across the far northeast of England, sort of into Northumberland, Tyne and Wear area. So it's this sort of area here that could see a little bit of snow. Perhaps ice is going to be the main problem, but temperatures will be increasing towards the morning, so I think that will quite quickly turn to rain, although we could find quite a covering of snow within this sort of area for a short while. Could be sort of 5 centimetres over high ground, 2 to 5 centimetres at low levels for a time. And then you notice here, look how this area of rain comes in. Again, we could find a little bit of sleet even through the eastern Midlands, northeastern parts of England, perhaps even a little bit of wet snow at first on Monday morning, but that clears eastwards. Milder air comes in, some pretty heavy bursts of rain, so quite a wet start to the morning and a windy one in the south too. Then milder conditions through Monday with some sunny spells, showers affecting the north and the west, gradually becoming brighter elsewhere. Generally a slightly milder day. And then low pressure dominates overnight into Tuesday, and through Tuesday we find that western coasts again see most showers. Further inland, central and eastern areas generally quite dry. Could be some quite wintry showers just feeding onto these western coasts during the course of the day on Tuesday. And then I think it turns colder during Tuesday afternoon and into Wednesday night as the flow turns more northerly, and I think these showers coming down the north and the east of Scotland on Tuesday night to Wednesday morning, they could actually be falling as snow, so we need to watch that area during that period. Could be 1 or 2 snow showers as well affecting northern parts of Wales. And then as we get in towards Wednesday, so we find that northerly flow again feeding these wintry showers down these northeastern coasts of the country. Again, don't run away with the idea of a blizzard, but it could be that we get a covering of snow at low levels thanks to these snow showers being fed in on the northerly wind. Further west it should be drier, it should be brighter, although everywhere feeling quite cool. And then overnight into Thursday, a more complex area of low pressure moves in during the period. It slips southeastwards. Now this is one that we need to watch very, very carefully. This could be our kind of swan song for this current cooler snap of weather, because it could be, as that feature moves southeast and the low comes in, it could be that the winds get into an easterly direction. If that happens, we could find that areas of the south of the UK into the west here could find a period of rain turning to snow as it comes into the colder air. That's just something that we need to watch for. So as I say, that's something to watch on Thursday. And then through Friday the winds go more into the north. We become colder everywhere through Friday with some sunny spells, and then that heads into a westerly getting established for the weekend, becoming cooler across the north with wintry showers, down to the south variable cloud with 1 or 2 wintry showers, and that sets us up again potentially for this area of low pressure to slip southeastwards into the North Sea and into the near continent, associated with the trough that we saw on the ECMWF on Sunday and into Monday the following week. It may pull in northerlies for a time, so even around the 11th, 12th, 13th period we could briefly go colder with snow showers again affecting northern and eastern parts of the country during that period. And then we should probably find the winds returning more into a westerly direction with milder conditions coming in. So as I said, lots and lots of weather around, but still pursuing this idea of it being chilly during the coming week, then temperatures gradually picking up to near the seasonal normal before taking a sharper plunge from about the 17th onwards. So loads there for you to consider. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget that the site's kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen, by you coming back and using those regularly. That's what keeps us free of charge, and of course by spreading the word. So thank you for doing that. Have a great day and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.